Okay, so now we will go through 5G throughput estimation. Now, to understand that, we must understand the 5G frame structure and the 5G time domain and frequency domain structure that I already explained in my previous videos. So, what is 5G throughput? 5G throughput is the maximum data rate that we get from 5G. And I think this is the most common question that we get as well, that what is the data rate or the throughput or speed expected from a certain 5G network or a certain 5G configuration. So let's see how this works out and how we can find out for ourselves what is the throughput we will get. So the easiest way that I usually recommend is to first get the 5G throughput for a single resource block into one slot. So because we can then calculate that based on that any other throughput. So if you know the throughput of a single resource block into one slot, then you can calculate it for any bandwidth, for any TDD structure. So whatever the configuration is, if you know the throughput of a single resource block into one slot, then that is the best way out for you. So we can say this is one TTI. So we can have one slot which is 14 symbols, and we have one resource block which is 12 subcarriers. So we are assuming here that we are using the 30 kilohertz structure. So that would mean that we are using 12 subcarriers into 30 kilohertz, that is 360 kilohertz for one resource block. So let me just show you now how it works out. Now, as we discussed, we need number of subcarriers. We know they are 12, right? We know number of symbols. We know they are 14 in one slot. And from that, from the frame structure, we know that the first symbol is used for PDCCH. Sorry, this is the control channel, and we use two more symbols for the reference signals. So the actual number of symbols that we use for data that will actually carry traffic is around 11. So 14 minus 3, we get 11 symbols. So now, how many total resource elements we have that can carry traffic? That means 12 subcarriers into 11 symbols, that is 132. Now, how much data I can carry with 132 resource elements? For that one, we refer to 3GPP table 38214, table 5.1.3.1-2. This shows the number of bits per symbol possible for each MCS. What is MCS? MCS is modulation and coding scheme. So when you have this MCS and modulation order 2, that means you're using QPSK. When you're using 4, that means it's 16 QAM. When you go to 6, that means it's 64 QAM. When you go to 8, that means it is 256 QAM. So the maximum possible efficiency will be with 256 QAM, MCS 27, which is 7.4063. That means we can have 7.4 bits per symbol. So if we have 132 REs and we say the maximum bits per symbol is 7.4063, then the data that we can carry in this one resource block will be 7.4063 into 132, which is data carried in this resource block over one slot. 132 into 7.4063 is equal to 977 bits. So now when we know that this is the building block of 5G, and in one block we carry 977 bits, then whatever the configuration we get, we can just multiply this value with that bandwidth or that slot length, and we can find out the actual throughput. So let's take an example now. Let's say we are using a 100 megahertz channel and we need throughput per second. So we want to know how much megabits per second we can get with a 100 megahertz channel with this configuration. So let's say how it will look like. So if I have 100 megahertz, that means 100 megahertz is equal to 100,000 kilohertz. Now I know that one resource block is 360 kilohertz. So how many resource blocks will be there in 100 megahertz? We just divide 100,000 by 360. that makes out 277 resource blocks. Now we know that 2 RBs are used as guard band on both sides. So the maximum RBs that we can use in 100 MHz channel will be 273. Similarly, we can find out the number of slots we will have in 1 second. So this one over here is 0.5 millisecond. In 1 second we have 1000 milliseconds. So the total number of slots will be 1000 divided by 0.5 is equal to 2000 slots. So that means we have 2000 slots and 277 resource blocks. So if we want to find the capacity, this will be 977 into 273 into 2000. Now having said that, there are two other things that we need to know of. That is the number of downlink and uplink slots. Now in any TDD system, for instance, we have some slots for downlink, some for uplink. So if we use a 4:1, that means 4 downlink slots and 1 uplink slot. So if we use that one, that means out of 2000 we will have 1600 slots for downlink and 400 slots for uplink. So if we use 1600, then now the equation becomes 977 into 273 into 1600. That will be the capacity. Now having said that, we also use MIMO. So this one is for single layer. In 5G we can right now use, let's say, up to 4 layers. So let's say maximum number of layers is 4. Then the equation becomes 5G throughput is equal to 977 bits into 273 resource blocks into 1600 slots into 4 layers, and we divide that by 1024 to convert it to kilobits per second, and then again 1024 to convert it to megabits per second, and this comes out 1627 Mbps. So that's around 1.6 Gbps if we talk about a 5G channel with 100 megahertz of bandwidth and a DL/UL ratio of 4:1. So this is how we can calculate the throughput. Now similarly, let's have a look at the 5G calculator, a throughput calculator tool, and see how it stacks up, how our calculation is, how correct is it, how close is it to the actual value. So let's see. So if I show you this one, for instance, we have this 5G throughput calculator tool. So my bandwidth is 100 megahertz. I'm using 4DL1 uplink, the same that we used here as well, 4:1, and the number of MIMO layers is 4. So if I do calculate peak throughput now, I get 1517. So this is lower than what we calculated. So that is, why is that? Let me explain that again in the next slide. Why our calculated throughput is a bit higher compared to the throughput that we could get from the 5G tool, or the actual throughput that we should get. Okay, let's see. So that is because of this concept. Now when I said that we will have 4 slots for downlink and 1 slot for uplink, that is not entirely technically correct, because let's say I have 1 slot here, this is downlink, second slot is downlink, third slot is downlink, this is the 4th slot, this is the last slot which is downlink, and this is the one where we shift to uplink. So this slot 5 is uplink. So when we shift from downlink to uplink, we need to have a guard period. I already explained that in the frame structure, but just to reiterate, when we have a guard period, so we take away, let's say, 2 symbols here, and then we have some symbols for uplink signaling. So this one takes away another 2 symbols. So what we have is that for slot number 4, we have, instead of 11 symbols, we have around 7 symbols available. So when we calculate that overhead in our throughput calculations, then our throughput calculation will come out to be somewhat similar to what we saw on the throughput tool. In our previous calculation that we did, we calculated all 4 slots as downlink. So if we remove these 4 symbols from every 4th downlink slot, then our throughput will be somewhere around 1.5 Gbps, 1.51 Gbps, which we saw from the tool as well. So now let's have a look at the tool again and see a couple of other things that we can that can impact the throughput. So for instance, here we have 100 megahertz bandwidth, we have 4 DL1 UL, and we have 4 MIMO layers, and this is the block error rate. So let's change this first. If I move to 3:1 and I calculate this, so I can see the throughput dropped from 1500 Mbps to around 1388 Mbps, right? So this means that now I have more uplink slots. That's why downlink throughput dropped a bit. So let's go back to this one. We are again to 1.51 Gbps. Similarly, for the bandwidth part, if I, let's say, use a lower bandwidth, instead of 100 I use 60, that drops my throughput to 906 Mbps. So for each bandwidth, different bandwidth, we will have a different throughput value. Similarly, for the MIMO layers, now we have 4. Let's say a user is using 2 MIMO layers. In that case, the throughput will be further lowered. Let's say 758 Mbps. So this is how it works. Similarly, we have another aspect, which is block error rate. If we have higher block error rate, let's say at 10%, our throughput is lower, right? So all of these concepts are there to make you understand that throughput can work differently in different configurations. So if TDD DL/UL ratio, higher the downlink ratio, higher the throughput, higher the MIMO layers, higher the throughput, higher the bandwidth, higher the throughput, higher the block error rate, lower the throughput. So that is how we can calculate the throughput output for 5G. I hope this answers the lots of your questions, and it also clarifies how throughput calculation can be done in 5G. Thank you so much.